But a lot of men my age are steeped in a toxic masculinity.
Translation, the men my age do not want me. And hey, look, I have no problem with this relationship. Most relationships are short term. The young men need practice. The old ladies need to get dick down, right? I mean, I'm just being honest here. They need to F somebody. The young men need practice for their, when their girlfriend's finally born. What up, guys? Welcome to my reaction series. Apparently, the Cougars are going for younger men. So as you guys know, many women have to cope when the men their age don't want them anymore. So what do? The 20-something-year-old men, you guys are up next. Make sure if you guys have a story with a cougar, put it in the comments. But today, we're talking about Tracy Ellis Ross. She appeared on Michelle Obama's podcast to talk about her dating life. Look, she's 52 years old, never married, no kids, and that is not going to change anytime soon. She said that she dates younger men because they are more fluid when it comes to their relationship dynamics and expectations. She stated that older men are full of toxic masculinity because they believe in gender roles and traditional marriage values. Have you guys seen the articles lately saying that like Gen Z women are going for older men because they're more feminist? And I'm like, no. Guys, you know, men do have beliefs, you know, women do not have beliefs. And that's like the biggest, you know, difference between the genders, not all. But when it comes to men, when they're trying to get laid, I mean, there's no point in even asking them any questions as a woman. Like, what are you looking for? He's going to answer whatever he thinks you're looking for. What are your political beliefs? He's going to... Like, I don't know, how much money do you make? As much money as you need me to make for me to get laid today. Like I don't even know the point of asking questions on a date because men are just going to say what they're going to say in order to get the punani, right? And women lie too. Like, everyone's just, you know, kind of lying to each other. And so I'm just realistic. You might as well just not talk on the date and just figure out if you find each other hot. It might as well be... I'm just kidding.
They haven't been asked to, because I think it's not always a context that if it's a...
Which one of you is doing it? Who's doing it? Who is it? I know some of you in the chat are not above it. Okay, we're not going to pretend here that this isn't the lying channel. Okay, this is the be honest channel. How far would you drive? That's the real question. Would you do it? If it'd been long enough, I know all of you would. And how far would you drive? 10 minutes? Be honest, put in the chat.
An area that you don't have to think into, right? But I think it is a genuine, regular thought process for me. It's one of the reasons, I mean, we've talked about this, that often I date younger men.
As most of you know, I have been fighting on the front lines of the simp epidemic for years, but I need to tell you about a quiet weapon being ratcheted up against men that is rarely talked about. It's not just the relentless anti-masculinity propaganda and OnlyFans hoes causing the societal issues that we discuss on this show. Did you know that the average city's tap water contains trace pharmaceuticals and endocrine disruptors? This often includes estrogen from birth control. The average adult consumes a credit card worth of plastic every single week. That's 5 grams of plastic a week on average. So it's no wonder that the average male's testosterone is half of what the average was 50 years ago. Testosterone levels decline 1% a year, and without a course correction, we are headed towards extinction. No matter how based you are, you need to be naturally boosting your testosterone. My friends at Chalk, CHOQ.com, are on a mission to save mankind from extinction by boosting your vitality. Chalk's Male Vitality Stack contains premium and potent herbs clinically studied to naturally boost your testosterone levels, sperm count, and overall vitality. Just one of the many ingredients in the Male Vitality Stack was studied in double-blind human clinical trials to boost total testosterone 20% in 90 days. When you boost your testosterone, you'll have more mental clarity, you're more capable of making decisions and taking risks. Having high testosterone will also affect your pheromones, so women will find you more attractive subconsciously. Get the Chalk Male Vitality Stack right now on chalk.com. That's CHOQ.com. Use my name Pearl as your coupon code and you'll get 25% off site-wide on chalk.com. That's CHOQ.com. My name Pearl is the discount code.
And a lot of it is because...
Let's stop on that, folks.
Oh my God,
All right, so this is... Men have to develop like a poker face in life. In order to get anywhere in life, they really just have to pretend that the things that we say matter and are okay. So it's kind of like women in a relationship will say something really messed up to the guy, and the guy has two choices. He can get upset, right? And if he gets upset, then boom, big fight. Or he can just develop a poker face. And we're going to do a show on this. And right here is this guy's poker face coming through. You see in the middle? He's like, oh God. This is a married woman clapping for this cougar bussing down 20-something-year-old men and basically being a side chick and used. Now, you may think this is a loss for women, right? That means like that's an L. It depends how you think about it. If women like being side chicks, I mean, it kind of gives women what they want. Now, yeah, she's going to go 20 years younger. And then when he's 35, he's going to dump and find a real woman to start a family with, unless he's a simp. Occasionally, a cougar will pull this off. And do you know what's going to happen? I'm going to let her go in a second. But what's going to happen is the same way we're going to see record high mothers in their 40s, that's going to completely be a thing. The technology is going to evolve and it's going to be more common. Now, for every one winner of women that's able to do it, there's going to be like 10 losers, right? But let's say 10% of women in their 50s pull a guy in their 20s and 30s and actually manage to keep him for like a significantly long period of time. Well, guess what, guys? What are they going to do to women? Sell hope that you're going to be hot forever, because hot men in their 20s will bust this down. And we covered a female who became a prostitute who was a grandma, and she was getting busted down by like 20-something-year-old soccer players. So please stop telling me you're above it. Some of you are going to do it. I don't know who, but I know at least one of you is watching this and would do it. I know it. I've seen too much.
We had a great dinner, by the way, where across the table, your husband goes, but why? And I said, well, maybe because I can.
Yes. This is what I'm saying. Tales from Tracy's.
It's fun. It's very fun.
Yeah, do you see? Wait, hold on. Right there. Can I go back? Well, he has like that look of disgust. Like the men are deep down like disgusted. But again, he's putting that smile on. He's got to put the poker face. It's like, oh shit, I got to put this back on.
Sure. Tracy tale.
But
I'm
sorry. But one of the reasons, though, that because I had to ask myself that question, I was like, what is this about?
Yeah.
Because I want a partner. And so often, and it's not just that I'm older, I'm also very embodied. I am a full, very whole person who knows myself, who is in charge of my life, and who lives a very full, just robust life. So it's not just age, it's like life experience and sort of a difference. But I had to ask myself the question, why? Why does this keep sort of coming up other than they're hot and gorgeous?
There's that.
But a lot of men my age are steeped in a toxic masculinity.
Translation, the men my age do not want me. And hey, look, I'm going to be honest, I have no problem with this relationship. Most relationships are short term. The young men need practice. The old ladies need to get dick down, right? I mean, I'm just being honest here. They need to F somebody. The young men need practice for their when their girlfriend's finally born. When their girlfriend is born when they're like 25, and then at 55 they can meet her, so they can bust down these ladies till they meet them. And yeah, so I don't have a problem with these type of relationships. I actually think it's a perfect like market meeting, if that makes sense.
And have been raised in a culture where there is a particular way that a relationship looks. And anything that starts to smell of that for me, I did enough of it where I was controlled and felt like I was a possession or whatever those things were.
Okay, so when she says, I felt like I was controlled or a possession. So women, we say alpha and beta, right? But it's basically guys with standards and guys with no standards. So guys that let the woman... And it's a scale, right? There's some guys that let no shit go. There's some guys that let some shit go. It's like it's not, but let's just, for this explanation, just split the guys in the two. The guys that can say no and the guys that can't. And so basically what she's saying is I dated a guy, an alpha. I hate that term, but or a guy that had boundaries and knew how to say no. And that's pretty much, that's like women, we have an internal battle where we're fighting for either we want freedom and to be who we are, but the problem is who we are is terrible people. So that's like the internal battle. I want freedom and to be who I am, but I don't, but the men that I'm attracted to don't like who I am as a person. And so I gotta change who I am as a person to get into a relationship. Now, men know this. They know they ain't shit, right? From a young age. The world tells them, and they do have to change who they are as a person to get into a relationship. Men know and accept that. But women, that's why women love Kim Kardashian so much, is because she gets the ultimate, she's pretty good looking for her age, right? She's still banging hot dudes. Yeah. For the time being, and she gets the ultimate freedom and money. Even the oldest Kardashian, I mean, isn't Corey Gamble? Isn't he Corey Gamble? But you know, I mean, he's not a bad looking guy, right? A talent manager. Okay, obviously she's not gonna get the dudes she used to get, but you guys see what I'm saying? Like, she gets to do whatever she wants and still date an arguably good looking guy. That's women's dream. That's really women's dream, to be as bad as people as possible and still get whatever we want in life. Yeah.
Or prize and I have no interest in it, and I will not do it again.
I'm sorry.
No,
Craig.
I was going to say, it's a generational thing. So it didn't matter how you met them, or is it just kind of the guys you're meeting?
That's obviously
too big of a generalization.
It's a generalization,
Yeah.
but because I have dated men my age, there is a difference. There is an openness that occurs with a younger man around whether it's gender fluidity or not even having an issue with homosexuality. I mean, something as basic as that there's times where I'll be, sitting across the table from somebody and just like, what did you just say?
Yeah, what century are you?
Like, oh my God.
Where's your horse and buggy?
Yeah, like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, and here's the thing. If she was hot, this is what the men would do. Yeah, I'm totally for gay marriage. He could be the most far-right conspiracy theory. He'll sit there and say, yeah, I think that women, they don't get enough credit in society. You know what I mean? It's like,
and your bedpan.
Yeah, for real.
Chamber pot.
Yeah, your chamber pot. Your chamber pot. Like, where I'm just like, yeah, this is not a match.
Yeah.
And I have long been past the age where I feel like it's my job to teach somebody or grow them up.
Yeah.
That I'm not interested in. So, but it's interesting. I mean, there's so many different philosophies on dating, and I have come up with mine. I have come up with what works for me and what makes sense for me and what feels safe for me.
Yep.
I mean, like, I'm not on dating apps. I have friends that have great success with dating apps, but that's just not something I'm comfortable with.
So you're meeting folks in the wild then?
That's the only way for me, or someone sets me up, or I meet them at an event. I meet someone. It's usually people that also have a level of recognition that they,
oh my God, famous men are busting that down. Oh my God. It must be bad out there, boys. It must be bad.
Have as much to lose as me to a certain extent. I don't know. I mean, I haven't had great luck lately, but I do have to say
It's because you're old. Yeah. Translation, I got old.
I'm moving up on what it is that I'm looking for as a match. Yeah. I've had some doozies. Yeah.
But I just love watching your life because you were modeling so many things, the next phase, how many versions of ourselves we can become at all ages in life, and how to build the life you want.
Yes.
Not the life that somebody told you were supposed to have. And let me tell you, I told you this about the girls, and Tracy, just like, she mentors the girls.
I will bet money that their kids will be single mothers. I'll bet money.
Always there for them. But trying to make sure that I am not subconsciously sending them these messages about what their life should look like. Even like when you ask, are you dating anyone? I mean, that's something that we ask young people in their 20s, you know.
So this is what we're getting now. This is your future side piece, Ellis. Welcome to 2025. I can't believe well-known men in their 20s and wow, that's insane. She's turned into an auntie. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think in the comments. Please like the video. And if you have an experience with a cougar, please put it in the comments and we'll pin the best ones. I'll see you guys next time.